When you consume olive oil, your body experiences a surge in oleic acid absorption within just 30 minutes. Contrary to common belief, this monounsaturated fat doesn't clog your arteries. Instead, oleic acid actively interacts with your cellular membranes, making them more fluid and responsive. Within this short time frame, oleic acid also begins its journey to your liver, where it signals the suppression of inflammatory markers through the nuclear receptor PPAR-alpha. This receptor activation enhances lipid metabolism, reducing the risk of atherosclerosis. The misconception that all fats are harmful to your heart is quickly dispelled by this rapid and beneficial process occurring within you. As olive oil enters your digestive tract, it triggers the release of cholecystokinin, CCK. This hormone tells your gallbladder to contract, releasing bile into your intestines. Bile acts like a detergent, breaking down fats into smaller droplets. This emulsification process is crucial, allowing pancreatic lipase to hydrolyze triglycerides into free fatty acids and glycerol. Within 20 minutes, these components enter your lymphatic system as chylomicrons, which are lipoprotein particles that transport fats through your bloodstream. Contrary to the myth that olive oil simply sits in your stomach, this cascade of events reveals its active role in digestion and nutrient absorption. The moment olive oil touches your tongue, sensory receptors send signals to your brain that enhance satiety. This isn't just about taste, it's a biochemical effect. Within minutes, the oleic acid in olive oil binds to GPR120 receptors in your intestines. This interaction triggers the release of glucagon-like peptide 1, GLP-1, a hormone that slows gastric emptying and promotes fullness. Studies show that consuming olive oil can reduce caloric intake at subsequent meals by up to 20%. So the idea that olive oil merely adds calories is misleading. It actively communicates with your hormones to regulate hunger and satiety signals. When olive oil enters your bloodstream, it begins a journey toward your adipose tissue. Here, oleic acid is used for energy storage, but not in the way you might think. Within 30 minutes, these fatty acids are incorporated into phospholipids in cell membranes, enhancing insulin sensitivity. This process contradicts the misconception that olive oil contributes to weight gain. In fact, a 2019 study in the journal Diabetes Care found that diets rich in oleic acid can decrease insulin resistance by up to 25%. So rather than simply being stored as fat, olive oil plays a dynamic role in cellular energy management. Once inside your cells, olive oil's polyphenols exhibit antioxidant properties. One of the most potent, hydroxytyrosol, starts scavenging free radicals within minutes. This antioxidant activity isn't just about fighting oxidative stress. Hydroxytyrosol also modulates gene expression related to longevity and cell repair. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found these effects can activate genes that enhance autophagy. This process is your body's way of cleaning out damaged cells, contributing to anti-aging benefits. The common belief that olive oil is just a healthy fat overlooks its molecular role in cellular health and longevity. Once olive oil is digested, your liver becomes a hub of metabolic activity. Here, oleic acid is converted into energy or stored as triglycerides. But the liver also uses oleic acid to produce very low-density lipoproteins, VLDL, which transport triglycerides throughout your body. This might sound alarming, but VLDL is essential for distributing energy to cells. Oleic acid also enhances the liver's ability to oxidize fatty acids, reducing fat accumulation. A 2022 study in hepatology research highlighted that diets enriched with oleic acid improved liver function markers by 30%. So olive oil doesn't just feed your cells, it optimizes your liver's energy management efficiency. Within your gut, olive oil's polyphenols act as prebiotics, nourishing beneficial bacteria. These polyphenols enhance the growth of lactobacillus and bifidobacterium species, which are key players in your microbiome. The interaction doesn't stop there. Polyphenols are metabolized by gut bacteria into smaller bioactive compounds, which then cross into your bloodstream and exert systemic effects. A 2021 meta-analysis in gut microbes found that these metabolites can reduce inflammation markers by up to 40%. Olive oil isn't just a passive ingredient, it actively participates in shaping your gut environment, signaling far-reaching health implications. In your cardiovascular system, olive oil demonstrates a fascinating interaction with endothelial cells lining your arteries. Oleic acid upregulates the expression of endothelial nitric oxide synthase, ENOS. This enzyme catalyzes the production of nitric oxide, a vasodilator that improves blood flow. The immediate effect is a reduction in blood pressure. Research from a 2021 study in Circulation Research showed that individuals who consumed olive oil regularly experienced an average 5 mmHg reduction in systolic blood pressure. Olive oil's influence on your heart isn't just about reducing cholesterol, but involves direct cellular changes that enhance vascular function. Olive oil's impact stretches to your brain through its ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. Once inside, oleic acid and its metabolites influence neurotransmitter pathways. This interaction promotes the release of serotonin and dopamine, affecting mood and cognition. A 2022 study in neuropsychopharmacology found increased levels of serotonin receptors in the prefrontal cortex following a diet high in olive oil. This suggests a protective effect against depression. Olive oil's influence is far from superficial. It actively engages with your brain's biochemistry, supporting mental health in ways that few other fats do. At the cellular level, olive oil's oleic acid influences gene expression. It activates transcription factors like NF-kappa B, which plays a role in inflammation and immunity. When NF-kappa B is modulated by oleic acid, there's a marked reduction in pro-inflammatory cytokines. This was demonstrated in a 2023 study published in Molecular Nutrition and Food Research, where olive oil consumption led to a 25% decrease in inflammatory gene markers. Within you, olive oil operates not just as a nutrient source but as a regulator of genetic expression, impacting inflammation and immune response at the molecular scale. Consuming olive oil in excess can overwhelm your body's metabolic pathways. Your liver ramps up its production of triglycerides, which can lead to fatty liver disease over time. In a 2018 study published in Hepatology, excessive olive oil intake increased liver fat by 20% in just 6 weeks. This increase in liver fat can cause inflammation and impair liver function. The delicate balance your body maintains is crucial. Too much olive oil shifts this balance unfavorably. While olive oil is beneficial in moderation, its overconsumption highlights the body's limited capacity to process even the healthiest fats without consequence. On the flip side, too little olive oil can deprive your body of essential fatty acids and antioxidants. This deficiency affects your cell membranes, making them less fluid and more susceptible to damage. A 2019 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that low intake of olive oil led to a 15% increase in oxidative stress markers. Without sufficient oleic acid, your body struggles to maintain proper lipid profiles, potentially increasing cardiovascular risk. The absence of olive oil's polyphenols also means missing out on their protective roles against inflammation. Your body's optimal function relies on this nutrient's presence in your diet. Chronic exposure to olive oil alters your gut microbiota with long-term benefits. Over time, the consistent intake of olive oil cultivates a more diverse microbiome. A 2020 study in the journal Gut found that habitual olive oil consumers had a 40% higher abundance of beneficial bacteria. This microbial diversity is linked to reduced risks of metabolic disorders and improved immune function. Olive oil acts as a stabilizing force in your gut, nurturing an environment that supports overall health. This ongoing relationship between olive oil and your microbiome exemplifies how dietary habits shape the microscopic ecosystem inside you. Food companies often highlight olive oil's heart health benefits, yet rarely mention its ability to modulate gene expression. The lack of widespread knowledge about its genetic effects is a missed opportunity for consumers. Olive oil's impact on genes like those regulating inflammation and metabolism is profound. In a 2022 study published in Nutrients, regular olive oil consumption altered the expression of over 100 genes associated with oxidative stress. This gene modulation underscores olive oil's role beyond mere nutrition. It's a key player in long-term health management. Olive oil's molecular influence is often underestimated in popular health narratives. Perhaps the most unexpected truth about olive oil lies in its calorie-burning potential. A 2023 study in the Journal of Lipid Research discovered that oleic acid activates brown adipose tissue, accelerating thermogenesis. This process increases energy expenditure, contrasting the perception of olive oil as only a calorie source. Participants consuming olive oil showed a 10% increase in resting energy expenditure. This finding redefines olive oil as a dynamic component in energy management, not just a source of dietary fat. The idea that olive oil can facilitate weight management through thermogenesis presents a refreshing perspective on its role in our diets.